Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I'm looking at a Hamilton Khaki Air Race. Let's see if I got that right. I featured one on the channel before. It was very early, back late November last year, when I just really started my channel. Rewatched it yesterday, bit cringy, but I'll probably cringe at this in six months as well. So it's all a progression thing. But yeah, this is the silver dial with blue accents and red hand and stuff. Looks pretty cool. I do like Hamilton watches. If you know anything about me, you've heard me talk on our Beer and Watches chat, or you see my videos, you'll know that Hamilton's one of my go-to brands. I think they're like a mid-tier brand, Swiss heritage now being made in America, or that might be the other way around. But yeah, they're banging out really good watches. I love them. I've got a Khaki King as well. Love that watch. That was sort of like a mini grail on mine. And I hasten to add, if I see anything else, I'll probably pick up another Hamilton in the future. But I'll leave the model number in front of me, just because it's H7 and I can't remember it, to be honest. And I don't like to look down, having any writing in front of me. But yeah, like I said, this watch is pretty cool. There's lots about it to like. I know it's associated with the Red Bull Air Race, is where the inspiration comes from. And like I said, 80-hour power reserve sapphire crystal. Again, the bracelet is made to a very, very good standard. And you get this retails for £685. I will leave a link taking you to this watch, but please do shop about. I'm all about getting the best bang for your buck, and I think if you can get this watch for sort of $450 downwards, you've had a right touch. If you spend over that, then that's down to you, sure though. But I think maybe then a little bit less value for money. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning back in. Your love and appreciation and your views and subscriptions and stuff are much appreciated. And yeah, I'm loving what I'm doing. So thank you for tuning back in. Excuse my kids. But yeah, without further ado, let's get the camera turned around. Thank you. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As I said in the brief intro, this is the second one of the same sort of style of watch really. There's two different ones that I own. This is the silver one. The other one was the black with the orange in like accents. Yeah, it's taken me a while to get it on. This is the same sort of manual that I received with that, and also with my Khaki King. Although the Air Race that I've got, this one and the other one, they didn't come in the same sort of box as I got with the Khaki King. So yeah, but at least with this one, you've got a nice travel pouch that you can use afterwards. But yeah, let's get it out. It does come with a international warranty card, unsigned. Let me see if I can get it out. It's well wedged in there. There we go. Yeah, because I got it off Ashford.com. Nothing was signed. A lot of these grey market sellers don't tend to sign anything. I've taken 3 links out, or 2.5 even, because you'd have half links with this watch. I'll pop it back up there, and I'll just show you the tang, just sort of denoting the model number. So it's H76225151 is the model number. I will leave a link taking you to this watch. It does recommend the retail price for this watch is £685, and with the website I found, it's a UK website, they sell it for that. So if you do want to find this watch, do maybe look on eBay or type it on Google and see what the more favourable prices you can get are. But then you're left with this watch. So yeah, as I said, it's the Hamilton Khaki Air Race. I bought a couple of these a little while back on Ashford.com. I sort of paid probably £350-ish, by the import and stuff. So, and I've liked it. I've not worn it a whole lot. I did wear it a little bit, and I forgot to review it. But yeah, this is the watch. And as I said, the model number is H76225151. The movement inside is an automatic H10 movement. It's got an 80-hour power reserve. I think it's an ETA movement that's been modified by Hamilton. If I'm wrong, do leave any comments in the comment section. Everything you can see really, apart from the sapphire crystal and the exhibition case back, and obviously including the outer part of the exhibition case back, are all 316L stainless steel. So that would be the case, fixed bezel crown, outer part of the exhibition case back, as I've alluded to. The solid end links, bracelet and mill clasp, all 316L stainless steel, and done to a very high standard, which you'd probably expect given it's a Swiss watch. Although they've got they're made in America now, but the Swiss heritage, I think that's the way it goes. The thickness of this watch is 11mm. The case diameter when you go from one side to the next, say 8 to the 2, is 38mm, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, and you take into consideration the crown, it is 41 millimeters. The lug width is 19 millimeters, so it's a bit of a shame. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 46 millimeters. So quite a compact watch, quite a good size given the fact it's not a diver. Let me just wipe it quickly, guys. There's a bit of muck on the dial, but yeah. So that's the sort of dimensions of the watch. The case back style, as I've already shown you and alluded to, is exhibition, and it's all signed quite nicely. Different bits of writing. There's a bit of signing on the rotor as well. It is also screwed down. The bezel type is fixed, and it's a brushed fixed bezel, sort of in keeping with the rest of the watch because it is a brushed watch for the most part. The crown is a push-pull crown, and as I showed you a moment ago, it is signed. You can see the H on there. As I've already said as well, the strap material is stainless steel, and it's brushed to a very good standard. They only got push pins, but it's quite easy to deal with. And from what I remember when I sized it, it is a pin and collar, but the collar is in the middle, so it's not too difficult to size. The clasp is also 316L stainless steel, and it's all milled. You've got Hamilton on the clasp and also inside, and you've got 3 levels of micro adjustment just so you can get that sort of perfect fit for yourself. The crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal, and it's got plenty of blue AR coating. I don't know if you can make it out in my studio lighting, but it definitely has. The water resistance of this watch is only 50 meters, but I hasten to add, you're probably not going to take it swimming, and it's your watch. If you want to, it's up to you, but I wouldn't recommend it. So that's 50 meters, 5 atmospheres of water resistance. The weight of this watch will appear in the top right hand corner as usual. It weighs in at 148 grams or thereabouts. But yeah, let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So what you have is you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. You've got you've got numbers for the 12, 3, 6 and 9, and then buttons everywhere else. They're not applied, they look like they've just been carved out of the dial, but it's pretty cool. Gives a sort of like a sandwich dial effect, if you like. I know it isn't, but it looks like that. Yeah, so you've got the silver with blue, and then you've got the red second hand, just as a bit of a contrast with colour. Underneath the 12, you've got Hamilton automatic in script writing, and above the 6, you've got Khaki Air Race. At either side, you're not going to be able to make out because it's not very legible. Either side of the 6, you've got Swiss and made at either side. You've got the date window at the 4:30 position. I don't mind that personally, actually. I quite like that. I think it's quite unoffensive, and it doesn't mess up the symmetrical dial, because that's obviously sometimes the problem when you put it at 3 o'clock and such. It kind of messes up the aesthetic of how it looks. But yeah, it's hacking hand-winding movements. You take it out all the way, it will hack. You take it out to the first position, you can change the date. I'll scroll back through. Actually, I won't bother, because I'm not going to be wearing this actually straight after this. I've worn it for a few days already. But then you put it back in. You can hand wind it just to give it some juice. As I said, it's got an 80-hour power reserve. So a watch like this, you take it off on a Friday, you come back to it on the Monday, and it was, as long as it had a decent level of charge prior to taking it off, it should be good to go. There shouldn't be any issues. It should be keeping decent time. And this one was running sort of 1 or 2 seconds fast. Excuse me. So yeah, I would definitely vouch for the movement in this. It's been very, very good, very reliable, and I've been very, very fortunate. I can't say that all of them will be that way, but this one is. But yeah, that's the dial. Let me pop it on the wrist quickly. As I've said before, my wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist, and as I said, I've taken 2.5 links out for it to fit me. And that's what it looks like on my wrist. I will give some shots outside. I think there's a little bit of loom on this, but there's nothing to write home about, but I'll also try and leave some shots of the loom at the end as well. So that's what it looks like on my wrist. They do also do a 42mm version. I think that looks a bit too big given how much of the watch is taken up by the dial. I think it would be a bit too big, but 38mm I think is a good size. But yeah, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and Pukka. As always, we start with pants, end on a high with Pukka. So pants, what I would say is the lug width, 19mm. Yeah, again, it's not ideal really. It's going to make it quite difficult if you want to change the bracelet out to source a strap. Because you can get them, but just a little bit more rare, to be honest, in terms of, and also trying to find a decent one might be problematic. And also QC issue I've had with the clasp. As you put it in, it's very, it doesn't fit properly. It makes an awful lot of noise, and it's just very rattly. I think it's because the push pins, the safety pushers, they're just not done very well. I've got the other one didn't have this problem, but this one does. So I'm not sure. It makes an awful lot of noise when you're wearing it, which is a bit of a nuisance. It clicks in okay, but it's just very noisy. I don't know if I can sort of, yeah, that's the, I don't know if you can hear that. That's not the bracelet, that's the clasp. So yeah, to surmise what I would say is pants on this watch, I'd go with the 19mm lug width and the clasp in terms of the QC issue with the clasp. And what I think is Pukka, the sapphire crystal. I like the domed, how it's domed in this. It's got the AR coating, and also I just love the sapphire crystal. The bracelet, yeah, the bracelet's really nice. Tolerances are really good, and the brushing on it is done very nicely. I must say, very good standard. The movement inside, as I've already alluded to, it's a Swiss 25 dual movement, and it's got an 80-hour power reserve. 80-hour power reserve is I know it's something that Hamilton do quite a lot. All my watches have had it so far, but yeah, that's not bad at all. I think they've obviously gone from a 28,000 joules to 21,000, but I don't mind that. Obviously, it gives you a bit more of a jerky sweep, but yeah, I quite like the power reserve. And just the fit and finish of the watch, apart from the clasp, the brushing, the fitment, everything is done to such a high standard. I know with a Swiss-made watch you expect it, but as I say, this watch is, yeah, the feel of it, the finishing, and even the links, as I say, the case, everything is just done to such a high standard, and I've been very impressed. So yeah, just to recap, I'd go with the sapphire crystal, the bracelet, the movement, and the power reserve, and the fit and finish generally of the watch. But that then will take me on to whether I'd recommend this watch, and I most certainly would. I wouldn't pay £685 if I'm honest, but if you can get this in and around sort of, I don't know, up to maybe pay £450, I would say maybe could be a very reasonable price for what you're getting for a Swiss watch, and the whole package you're getting. I think up to £450, I think you've had a good watch. Over that, very subjective in terms of price and stuff. Obviously, anything's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, so that's up to you. But I would say no more than £450, and if you get it for less than that, then you've got a nice watch on your hands for the price. But guys, let me know what you think of this watch. Maybe any other watches you may want to see, and thank you for tuning back in. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the best.